Okay guys, in this lesson we're just going to be playing games like I told you last time, and I wanted to do something that I think we did on lesson number 48, where I played one game on Lichess and then I played on chess.com. So let's give it a try. I'm gonna hit 5-3. Ideally we get to use the Sicilian defense, which is what we've been learning for the last 2 lessons in this course, but honestly any other opening is going to be fine. I think we're going to learn from these games regardless. Now, the problem with 5-3 is that we don't get a lot of people looking for that time control, so it's hard to find games. But oh, we got someone 22-92, and okay, with the white pieces, guys, I'm going to do c4 because I told you if you really want to get familiarized with the position types, you could try c4 as the white pieces, and if they do e5, it is the same thing as having played e4, c5, so it's like the Sicilian with colors reversed. So you're pushing the pawn in front of the queen's bishop. But of course they could do so many different things. Maybe we don't get to play. Okay, so this guy didn't want to play, so let's do new opponent 5-3. And I was saying if we don't get anyone, then we probably go to chess.com, or we just go to, let me try this. If we go to lobby, is there anyone here? Because I want to, okay, 5-3, look, 1904, ideally above 2000. No, not really. If not, we could just create a game, guys, and see if anyone. So 5-3 and rated, and let's see, let's get black pieces. So this is exactly what we did in our last lesson. At the end of lesson 113, I played a game and it was this way, but we have to wait for someone to find us. Let's see. Look, 3-2. I don't want to play 3-2. I know you guys don't like that because ideally I would have time to explain the moves and the ideas. Let's go to chess.com. Let's see if we could play a 5-5. I think I have to stop this. Okay, so chess.com 5-5. Now, in my experience here on chess.com, guys, when I do this with my students in our lessons, we typically get opponents who are way lower rated than we are. So, and again, it's because of that same reason that not many people are looking for it. So you see, 16-30, not that I don't want to play against, actually, let's give it a try. So c5, and hopefully we get into the open Sicilian. Nope, at least not for now. Let's go knight c6. Okay, so now d4. So you see, this is sort of like trying, like doing d4 first and then knight c3. Now, it affected us because we looked into this variation, guys, with queen b6 before knight c6, and then with ideas of bishop c5 and so on. But anyways, I'm going to take it. Even if we're not that familiar with these positions, we can just play chess. The most important thing is the 3 principles that we learned on lesson number 24. Control the center, develop our minor pieces, and of course castle the king. Okay, so look at this. I think I just made a mistake right there. That came with a check. I should have taken maybe with the other pawn. We cannot take. Now bishop d7, and our king is gonna be in the center. Now, not ideal, guys, but you're gonna see me defending this position. Hopefully we get something, we learn something out of this game as well. So I think the only way I'm gonna get in trouble is if I don't develop quickly. I should be fine if I manage to develop my pieces. Let's see. And I can always castle by foot. So maybe, okay, he wants to move the bishop. I guess he was afraid of taking that pawn. Not that I was gonna take it, but okay. Now, to me, it is just a matter of moving this rook and then castling by foot. Now, you know what? Let me do this. Now, h6, guys, I know that we have talked a lot about not allowing doubled pawns, isolated pawns, but we also know that with doubled pawns, we get semi-open files, and that's exactly what I'm going to go after. So I'm going to use that file to attack their king. So even though my king is in the center and their king is not, I'm going to attack it, and maybe my king gets to be safer than his king is going to be castled because my pieces are active. Now he's getting that pawn and he's happy about that. Now the problem with that is that I'm already putting pressure on h2. So what's the best way to take advantage of that? Now I'm thinking of, and by the way guys, this is something, again, very important, something that I know a lot of you are not used to doing at this point in your journey, but ideally, we'll be looking at candidate move. Any critical moment, if you go from opening to middle game, from middle game to end game, or your intuition is telling you, hey, there's a tactic here, or this is just a delicate position. Well, we have to look at the first moves that come to mind, the first 2 or 3 moves that come to mind. If your intuition is right, then one of those moves should be the best move. Now, guys, those of you who are new to the channel, I'm going to be talking a lot because hopefully you get some value out of these games. Now, my candidate moves, the first moves that come to mind are bishop takes, king e7, protecting the pawn. And just for the sake of having 3, I'm going to throw rook g6 in there, protecting and getting ready to double up. Now, once you have your candidate moves, you're going to calculate each one of them, guys. And then you compare the resulting position for all of them. So I'm going to start with this one. Bishop takes, king takes, and then I could do something like rook g5, for example, to collect that knight. Actually, to collect that knight. Now, what could they do at that point? Well, after rook g5, they could do g4, but then I could do f5, I could do so many things. Even my queen could come over. So I'm liking that one. The other one is king e7, passive, but I'm definitely not taking advantage of this pressure that I'm putting. And then rook g6, I like it too, getting ready to double up, but it's just too slow. So I'm going to go for this one, and he takes. Now, rook g5, I don't see anything stronger. If you guys see something better, just let me know in the comments like you typically do, okay? So now the knight is pinned, and we're going to collect it. We knew that was going to happen. Now, should I go... I could do some kind of checks here, or I could just do f5. Okay, so the problem with this is that f4 could be happening. So maybe that's not what I want. Now f5, if f3, right, let's give this a try. Now guys, this is exactly what I was talking about. I think his king is in a more dangerous position than my king is. My king is in the center, but he's not ready to attack me yet. All of his major pieces are back there. My major pieces are active attacking. So he blocked the queen. So I gotta pay attention to these sacrifices. If my, ooh, wait. I'm thinking queen d6. Let's say they just move up, check, oops, sorry, take check, pawn takes, queen g3. Now, do I want to do check through d6, c7, or b8? Now, I think b8 is going to allow me to come over if necessary. So let me give that check first. The knight cannot move. The only thing he could do now is something like f4, but I could just take, and this guy is going to be lost anyways. Now, I think maybe this is the way to go. If they go to any of these squares, I could just take because the pawn is going to be pinned. So you see, there's so many tactics here from the moment that we guys sacrificed on h2. All right, so let me see. And by the way, guys, I have those effects because some of my students, when we're doing the lessons, they like them and they say that it helps them win. So hopefully they help us win. Let's give this a try. If you don't like it, you can talk to my friend over here. He'll be oop. I think that's what we were. Okay, so now look, we had already thought of rook g4, but we gotta take our time here. So we could do rook g4, or we could look into something like take, check, king moves, queen comes over, king f2, rook h2, king here. Ooh, queen g3 is not gonna help us. Queen g3. If he goes to d4. Okay. I think this is gonna be enough. I don't think they could prevent us from taking on h5. And guys, rook h5 right now, as it is gonna be checkmate. And I'm just looking for something he could do to stop it. I think he's gonna have to give us the queen if he wants to delay this game. Now, interesting game. I was looking for more of a classical, one of the lines that we went over, but still, I think there's something that you guys can learn from this game. Now, let's see. Next one, maybe we just go to just Lee Chess and we play a game there. Yeah, so we knew that was going to happen. Still, he's delaying it. But the knight is going to fall as well. And that guys should be very easy to finish at that point. Now, I'm going to continue it for you to see, for you to see how you finish the game once you're winning by so much. Now I could just bring the queen, trying to incorporate the queen into the game, or I could just go to the 7th rank and keep it simple. Even if they push, we could just take, all right, so I'm not concerned about that. Let me see. All right, let me just go check. That king is exposed. Guys, notice how these rooks have not left that rank. Okay, e5. All right, so he just gave up. He knew checkmate was around the corner. Okay, so I'm going to go here to lead chess, and let's see. Let me actually create a game. 5-3. Let me just try. Yeah, 5-3, and let's see. Okay, this is 5 minutes. Maybe we find someone who is already looking for. Okay, guys, you know what? Let me go back. Let me stop this. Let me just go here. Okay, I think we're good. Now, let me try 3-2. I know that we don't like 3-2 because we don't have much time to talk about. But look, 23-67, 23-17. So let's see what we get. Okay, e4, c5, and we're playing the open Sicilian if they do pawn to d4. Nope. All right, these guys don't want to cooperate. Okay, knight c6, logical move. All right, now he's doing that. Queen b6. Now, guys, we gotta learn from our last mistake. Okay, so in order for us to keep it consistent, let me just go a6. We said that if they did one of these plans, we were going to just go back and try to adapt the hedgehog variation. So f4, that's fine. Let me just go. I don't want to go b5. Okay, let me just go b6. Now, guys, and this is just trying to keep it consistent with what we learned on lesson 113. So bishop b7. Now, let me go with d6. Okay, bishop e7. Rook g3. You know, that's interesting. I cannot say otherwise. So rook f3, rook g3. So rook lift, rook rollover. I could do g6. I could do bishop f6. Let me just go g6. Now, same thing here, guys. I could, since he's already compromised here and my king is not even castled there, I might even try to start expanding and attacking the king. Okay, so bishop e3, and this is defended. Let me just make sure that if he goes knight a4, I have no problem. Let me think. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. So let me just go for this. Not sure if this is the way to go or not, but let's give it a try. So his intention was to attack my castled king if I castled there. But I'm going to try to attack his castled king now. Let's see. Okay, so he's now retreating. Now, I like that rook on the same file as my rook. As my bishop. So let's see. Knight f6 maybe. Yep. Now my knight could even go to g4, trying to get that really good bishop that they have on e3. Nope, he's saying that not today. Okay, guys, so let me do this. Now, for sure, I think I'm not gonna castle to the king side. Now this plan could be interesting. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Now, remember when we talked about the hedgehog, we also talked about this d5 breaks. I'm just not sure if this is the right way, the right time to do this, but so knight h5. Let me just go with knight h5. We know at this point in the course we don't like the knight to go to the edge, but it is just temporary. It actually wanted to get to g3. Oop, I missed that simple tactic. Simple attack. I could have just gone b5. But guys, again, even in these cases, I drop the pawn. You're gonna see me defending in these positions. And one of the things that we do is, if I'm losing like this, I need to look for ways to complicate the game. Now, let me see. This I don't like, and we know that. But what can we do about it? Okay, so f5. What is f5 for? If he takes, I take with the g pawn and I open up lines to attack that king. I just need to complicate the game. I have nothing to lose. I already dropped a pawn. So why not? Why not? Now he's gonna move the bishop, I'm sure, trying to take advantage of this, something like knight c5 and so on, but let's see if we can pay attention and not let him go for it. Okay, so we take. Now he took the pawn, he gave us the exchange now, and what was that for? What was that for? Ideally I'll be castling now rook g8, but I can't. Okay, so I gotta bring the other rook, guys. If I bring the other rook and I combine that rook with my bishop, this is definitely going to get really aggressive. Now, maybe he's trying to get something like this, and that's okay, but nope. All right, we're going for it. Okay. Now this move is coming to mind. Rook g3, I just cannot do it. Not now. Okay guys, so now I'm just activating the bishop a little bit more. Maybe I should have just started to double up. So again, going back to the idea of candidate moves, bishop f6 was one, doubling up the rooks. There was so much, even bishop h4 was interesting. Okay, 21 seconds. Okay, now 3 pieces putting pressure on g2. So maybe bishop f1. Now I'm looking at this move next. And then I could take on h3, something else. Something else. So deflecting the queen from defending the pawn. Now the queen cannot go and defend, because again, the bishop. So this has to be the only move. And guys, we have 23 seconds, but remember, this is 3-2. Yeah, that's the move. Okay. All right, so now all of our pieces are active. This is the key pattern here. And let's see, maybe we could activate the other one. Take. Okay, let me try this. Okay, he missed, I think, he missed a golden opportunity to trade queens. At least he takes off the pressure. No, he didn't miss anything. Well, maybe he did. Okay, I don't think he has any more checks, unless I'm missing something. And this move is in the air. So what can he do about it? Now, 9 seconds, guys. It should be enough. We cannot get nervous now. We have to use his time to think about our next move. So rook g2 is coming. The question is, can he do anything to prevent it? Oof, even better. Even better. Okay. Okay, just pinning the bishop, nothing too crazy. No, this might be the only, no, that's not the only move. 8 seconds, I cannot lose this on time, guys. I just cannot. And notice how this is a 23-17. He's still making mistakes. Let me see. Guys, sorry that I'm not talking much here, but okay, let me just simplify everything. Easiest way to just win this game, all right? Now he's gone, the pawn is gone, so he cannot try to defend his pawn for too long. Okay. Again, I might not be using the right technique. I just want to keep it safe. And okay, let me do this. That's it. That's it. Now I have to be careful. Look, it's a rook's pawn, so I gotta be careful with. Losing that other pawn, which I think I just did. Uh-oh. Guys, if it's a rook's pawn and my bishop is not the same color as the promotion square, it might be a draw, unless I keep him away from it. Okay, good. Okay, so that's good, taken care of. He cannot get in here, and I think I just let him. Let me see. I cannot believe it is gonna be a draw. So maybe, just maybe. Ah, come on. Oh, he came with a check. Now I think we might have won this. Yep. I think we just won this game. You see, guys, easy on the time pressure is very easy to make silly mistakes. Okay. Now my bishop is controlling this and is keeping his king away from all of this. That's it. Now my pawn is gone. That's the end of it. Yeah, that's it. No, he's not gonna give up, but we got this game. Okay, guys, so horrible game. Not proud of how we won this, but we won it. And I hope that you learned something out of it, even though I didn't have much time to talk about it. Alright guys, before I let you go, let me just play one last game. I'm gonna go here, I'm just gonna play a 3-2. It doesn't matter the rating or anything, just one extra game. I played one on Lichess, one on chess.com. Let's see if we can play one more over here. Alright, white pieces. Let me just try, okay, let me try the English opening. I told you on lesson 113 that we could try this. In case they did e5, we get sort of the same position types as in the Sicilian. Now, let me show you the way that I like to play the English. I'm not gonna even try the same position type, anything like that. This is when I play the English, this is how I like to play it. So what I'm going to do, guys, is what they call the Botvinnik triangle. Now, first, I like to do the fianchetto, but since he had his bishop here, I couldn't just go ahead and do it. So I typically start with c4, knight c3, fianchetto, and then d3, e4. Now, something very interesting about this variation of the English opening. Now, he's gonna do probably something like d6, or maybe knight c6. Okay, c6. Now, guys, this is the thing. If you look at this position, if you have been following this course from the very beginning, you should know this is like the Vienna game that we learned in lesson number 34. Vienna game with the fianchetto variation. Now, the only difference is that this pawn is on c4 instead of being on c2. If you put this pawn down back here, it is the same thing as the Vienna. So my plan is going to be the same thing, h3, and I'm going to try to do f4. Now, of course, he wants to do that. I could take, or I could just do f4. Let me just take a look at my candidate moves, calculate a little bit. If I take, knight take, bishop takes. No, that's not what I want. Take takes. Let me take here, and then king h2. Now, eventually I'm going to do f4, but let me first put my king on h2. I'm okay if he takes here. I'm okay if he goes pawn to d4. So not a big deal. Now f4, I want to make it work, but I have to be very careful with that. Okay, so knight b5. Now the idea of knight b5, he might do something like this, but I might reroute my knight easily to c4. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, he's saying not a big deal. Now if he lets us, we're gonna do f5 and even f6 with a fork. And guys, this is very similar to the plan that we do in the King's Indian defense in the piece, because we have the fianchetto and we do this f4. With the black pieces, it's the same f5 that he's doing right now. So let me see it. Now if I take, he takes with the knight, I might even collect here. If he takes with the bishop, I like this bishop g5. Right, let me take here. Now, what am I missing here? Now he needs to be careful with this, even queen b3 and this. So let's see. Now there are always these tactics, guys. Check to open up the bishop, so maybe check, I take, he collects on d4. But first he's giving us one of the most important pieces he has, which is the fianchetto bishop. He castled to that side. This bishop is important. And also, I think after this I could even continue to take and so on. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't think he wants to do that. And we're up a pawn, and that's going to be a pass pawn from now on. Even this one, if I push it, could be a pass pawn. So just things to keep in mind. Check. Now, again, I know that he could move the rook, and it's just knight for bishop, but this is a very important bishop. So let's see what we get. And guys, again, these guys, look, this is a 21-32. We cannot expect them to just drop a piece or fall for a fork or a skewer. We have to look for some strategic positional advantages in order to convert into a win. But let's see. And besides, we learned, remember lesson 111, that the pair of bishops is really important. So if we get one of them, that's going to be really good. Now, I'm between that and knight g5. No, not knight g5. Okay, let me just take here. Okay, how about d4 now? And then e5. Alright guys, so pass pawns are meant to be pushed. So let's push those pass pawns. And remember, right now this is the only pass pawn, but if I get to push this one past this one, it is going to be a pass pawn as well. Let's see, I was also looking into this move. Am I missing something? Take. Okay, he wants to bring the knight here. Okay, fair enough. Interesting move. Now, so many things here. Take. Okay, if I go rook e1, he could always do knight d3. Okay, that knight is not only going to c4, it's also going to d3. Now, we don't have much time, so let me just take here. I get away from it, hitting the bishop. Now, the only thing I don't like about my position is my lack of development. So my bishop needs to come out, needs to come out to develop, and then my rook, and so on. So I just need to start putting pressure. Now this bishop, probably to d3. Let's see. Okay, no, it doesn't look like it. Now that bishop, I even liked it, bringing it to this diagonal, but we'll get to the diagonal. Now this rook could even come over to the d file, and all of my pieces, guys, the same pattern, activity. My pieces are going to be active. Oop, and there we go. All of my pieces doing something. Nope, I don't want to trade now. Check. I think either, ooh, he's going down. I don't want to trade queens, guys. If I'm attacking, I want to keep my queens on the board. Check. Come on. Check. Okay. So, guys, I had either taking here if he goes here, or even rook g8. I have to consider everything. All right, guys. So now I'm going to leave it here. I think we had pretty nice games. Any questions, let me know in the comments. I know that I went extremely fast. But, and by the way, one thing that I haven't mentioned, in a few weeks, I want to start doing this, but live. So we could do some live sessions. You could, guys, ask me questions on the spot. So let me know if you have any specific ideas for the live sessions. Some of you already told me some, but if anything comes to mind for when we start doing so in probably 1-2 weeks, feel free to just let me know in the comments. With that said, I'll see you guys in our next lesson.